LA Knight is frustrated with this in WWE, and in this video, I'm going to tell you what he said, because he should be frustrated. Look, LA Knight, he's taking a back seat, but things could turn around for LA Knight. Now look, the main event of WrestleMania 40, both nights have been set, and it's going to be dominated by Roman Reigns. We know that, right? WrestleMania 40 in April in Philadelphia. Night 1, it's going to be Roman Reigns, our undisputed WWE Universal Champion, teaming up with The Rock, taking on Cody Rhodes and World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. On Night 2, depending on the fallout of said match, if the babyfaces go over, if they can beat Roman and The Rock, then the Bloodline, they'll be barred from ringside. If the heels go over, then it'll be a Bloodline rules match. Also, on Night 2, you got Seth Rollins putting the World Heavyweight title against Drew McIntyre. Well, where does LA Knight fit in this? Well, he's been feuding with AJ Styles as of late. Now look, let's take a step back for a minute. 2022 was the start of the rise of LA Knight and really the transformation of LA Knight, because he made a name for himself in NXT. I absolutely loved his feud with Cameron Grimes. They brought in the $1 Million Man, WB Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase. They brought in the $1 Million title, and they had such a good feud down in NXT, right? And then Vince McMahon unfortunately got a hold of LA Knight, and that's where the Match Dupree character came in. Jesus, was that awful. A horrendous character. LA Knight would be the first to tell you. And then thank God for Triple H coming in and saving LA Knight and bringing that character back and dropping the Max Dupree character, right? LA Knight has been very vocal about the fact that he did not like the Dupree character. Heck, I didn't like the Dupree character. You didn't like it? No one but Vince McMahon liked it. And towards the end, he didn't even like it. But he's a sicko. Anyways, so going into 2023, he had his feud with Bray Wyatt. Their match sucked at the Royal Rumble in January of 2023. God rest his soul. We all miss Bray Wyatt, but that match absolutely sucked. And I think Bray Wyatt would be the first to tell you that it sucked because of the gimmick, the whole Mountain Dew freak thing, whatever it was. Anyways, LA Knight misses WrestleMania, and then he goes on the rise. The fan base gets behind him. He feuds with The Miz. That really helped him. He was paired with John Cena for, I believe, the Fastlane PLE in late 2023. And then he ran into Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. And for whatever reason, they thought it would be a brilliant idea to have LA Knight lose to Roman Reigns at a time where the fan base was behind him as strong as Cody Rhodes had support. And he was booked to lose to Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. Fast forward to January, he worked a fatal 4-way match with AJ Styles and Randy Orton and Roman Reigns for the title and lost again. Then he was booked in the Elimination Chamber match at that PLE down in Australia, and he lost again. There's a lot of losing going on for LA Knight these days, right? Now, in that match, AJ Styles cost him. Came out all jacked with his jean pants and hit him with a chair. A lot. AJ Styles beat the crap out of LA Knight with a steel chair. And now they're going into WrestleMania, and you're going to get AJ Styles and LA Knight. Now, this is not a position a lot of fans like to see LA Knight in. And he was asked while appearing on the Gorilla Position podcast whether he was frustrated about not being in the title picture at WrestleMania as that event approaches. He says, yes, in a certain way. So I look at my career in the sense of 2023, in all reality, should have never have happened the way it happened. That was insanity. That was crazy. Literally, legitimately, there were no plans for me until the Royal Rumble. There was nothing. I was there because I was trusted to be good enough to hang in with Bray and make him look good. I think I did that. But in the process, my God, did a light shine. But for whatever reason, there were plans for me after that. For things to go the way that they did in the last year is amazing. But I get all these congratulations, and everybody's like, you've done so much. I'm like, I have, but everything I've done from a career standpoint, pretty good. but from a merit standpoint, from the standpoint of adding to resume, saying, hey, this guy has been an Intercontinental Champion. This guy's been a United States Champion. This guy's been a WWE Champion, a World Champion, a Money in the Bank, a Royal Rumble winner, all that stuff. I really don't have anything to hang my hat on in that regard. Now, keep in mind that it was originally reported a few months ago that Knight was going to be the original opponent of United States Champion Logan Paul at WrestleMania 40. Obviously, those plans have been changed because Knight is in a feud with AJ Styles, and Randy Orton is slated to challenge Logan Paul for said U.S. Championship. This is interesting. LA Knight has been, and I'm sure he is to a certain degree, a big supporter of Triple H in charge of main roster creative. I mean, he should be, right? Considering that Triple H is the guy that got him away from that horrific Max Dupree character and brought back LA Knight. He was the one that introduced him first to the LA Knight character down in NXT when he was still in charge of creative before Triple H before Shawn Michaels took over, right? Because Triple H had his heart issue and et cetera, et cetera. Would LA Knight be in the position that he's in right now without Triple H? No, he wouldn't. If Vince McMahon, the devil himself, was still in charge of main roster creative, LA Knight would not be in this position. I think I know I would agree with that statement. I think you would agree with that statement. I think LA Knight would agree with that statement. That's the interesting part, right? On the flip side of this, should LA Knight be frustrated with how he's not been booked as a champion before? Yeah, he should. Because I pitched multiple times in 2023 that I thought that LA Knight should have a run as U.S. champion, have a run and dethrone Gunther as IC champion. Perhaps as the year went on, I thought, okay, before the Roman Reigns match, you can do it where LA Knight, a SmackDown guy, he wins a Royal Rumble, and then he goes on and challenges Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 40. That way, you don't have him lose to Roman Reigns. That way, he is a world champion. That way, everybody wins, essentially, right? Seth Rollins, he gets a long, long reign. And then CM Punk returned. And that all changed. Now, I understand LA Knight was booked against Roman before Punk came back. But you still had those plans in the card, right? You could have had Punk work with someone else. Or you could have just avoided the Roman Reigns LA Knight match